Hi, everyone. Hi, Mr. Chinmaya. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have almost 40 attendees so far. That's a good start. I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar on the challenges of DNFBPs, AML risk and requirements. Let me introduce myself. My name is Myra Fazan, and I'm the Corporate Communications Manager at Finch Innovate, and I'm going to be your moderator today. So let's begin. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen quickly. Okay. Mr. Chimera, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, perfect. So, as we all know that we are here for the webinar on the challenges for DNFBPs, AML risk and requirements. Let's talk about why is there a need to do that? Considering the recent regulations around DNFBPs and FATF evaluation, there is a lot of questions and a lot of confusion in the sector regarding their requirements and regarding their risks and their challenges as well. So in this webinar, we will dive a little into these things and we'll talk about everything. So let's go through our agenda. First, we'll start with the introduction of our company, Finch Innovate. Um, then Mr. Chinmaya will be talking about all the technical stuff, like who are the DNFBPs. Of course, most of us know that, but just a little bit of introduction. Then the sector threat assessment by FATF for DNFBPs. Why FATF classifies DNFBPs as high risk? That's a big question. Key AML risks for the sector and key AML requirements for the sector. And then we'll talk a little about challenges of implementing AML solutions for your business. Then FinchSCAN, which is our SaaS-based solution, we'll introduce you to FinchSCAN, and then we'll have a question and answer session. So just in case if you have any questions, please note down your questions, and we will have a session where you can ask me and Mr. Chinmaya any questions that you want. So let's begin with our company introduction, Finch Innovate. Finch Innovate is a UAE-based RegTech solutions provider and also a sister company of Sync Technologies. We have established Finch Innovate to provide next generation of AML compliance, eKYC, and onboarding solutions. We have more than 27 years of experience, 175 deployments in more than 28 countries. And these are some of our solutions, beginning with Finch Comply. This is the comprehensive AML compliance solution, mainly for financial institutions. Then we have Finch TM, which is a real-time and post-transaction monitoring solution for insurance and other industries as well. We have Finch AML, which is our on-premise name screening solution for financial and non-financial institutions like DNFBPs. We have FinchSCAN, which is our SaaS-based name screening tool, which we will go a little more into later on. Finch KYC is our digital onboarding solution, and C6 is our risk intelligence data set that can be combined with our AML solutions. C6 includes sanctions, PEPs, and adverse media. So that was a little about us. Now let's begin the webinar. And for the webinar, I would like to introduce you to our guest speaker, Mr. Chinmaya Meher. He is the managing partner at ThinkWalk Consultants with over 25 years of leadership experience in risk compliance industry in the banking and financial sector. He has a unique way of providing his management consultancy services because he will tailor made the strategies for your business requirements and for your needs. So to begin our webinar, I would like to ask Mr. Chinmaya to start the webinar and guide us more about the DNFBPs, their compliance risks and challenges. So over to you, Mr. Chinmaya.
Yeah, thank you, Myra and FinchSCAN for this opportunity to speak about and share my experience about DNFBPs and the risk. Uh, it's a very critical time for UAE and the DNFBP sector. Um, as UAE is going to go through a FATF mutual evaluation uh, review very soon. So the regulator and the industry is preparing, and everyone in the DNFBP industry also need to understand because some of you might be interviewed by the evaluator or the inspector when they come to Dubai for review. So it's a good session to go through and understand and keep ourselves updated. So let's start. Who are DNABPs? While there is a list here, the question that comes to mind is, does everything that a real estate or a lawyer or a legal profession or an accountant does is DNABP? It falls into DNABP or not? Because there is a bit of confusion which we have seen and people have asked questions. So we thought we'll clarify as to what exactly is DNABP from a regulator perspective. So to understand, yeah, let's look at what does the regulation says. Um, as per Article 2 and 3 of Cabinet Decision number 10 of 2019 concerning the implementing regulation of Decree Law number 20 of 2018 on AML, CRD, AML, CFT, and illegal organizations, they've given a definition and a list. Anyone who is engaged in the following trade or business activity shall be considered DNFBP. So, brokers and real estate agents, when they conclude operations for the benefit of their customers with respect to purchase and sale of real estate. So, there are two key words here: when they are acting on behalf of the customer, and when the transaction is with respect to purchase and sale of real estate. Likewise, DPMS or dealers in precious metal and precious stones, while carrying out single monetary transaction or several transactions that appear to interrelate, if the transaction value goes beyond 55,000 AED, then it falls in the DNFBP category. So the definition is very clear. When the transaction, one or multiple related transaction which goes beyond 55,000 AED. Lawyers, notaries, and other legal profession, when they are preparing, conducting, or executing any financial transaction for their customers, when this transactions pertains to a purchase and sale of real estate, management of funds, or management of bank account like savings account, security accounts, or organizing contributions for establishing a company or creating or operating a legal person or a legal arrangement or buying or selling of commercial entities. So these are very clearly articulated and defined in the regulation what activities falls under DNFBP. Not that everything that a lawyer, accountant, or notary will do will fall into this category. Then providers of corporate service providers and trust, when they are performing or executing a transaction on behalf of their customers, such as acting as an agent in creating or establishing a legal person, working as or equipping someone to be a director or a secretary of a company, or providing registered office services or work address services or address correspondence address services, things like that, or when they are providing a trustee service for a direct trust or in favor of some legal arrangement, or if they are providing services which are like
Hello. Hello. I don't know if you guys can hear me.